Here we are. Welcome to Saturday Sanga. Speaking from just around the corner from Simhachalam in Deutschland. And it is May 11th, Saturday, all day long, 2024. Imagine that. Who could imagine? When I was a kid, the idea of something happening in the year 2000 was considered like science fiction. And indeed, there was a film, maybe some of you saw it, called 2001: A Space Odyssey. Anyone saw that film? No? I thought it was quite a good film, actually. Yeah, especially the discussion at the end of the film between one of the astronauts and the computer, where the computer gets out of hand and has to be switched off, but he doesn't want to be switched off. So he's saying, please don't do this, don't do this. Now they do much more sophisticated, fancy films with CGI and all of that. Anyway. Okay, here we go. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Sva Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakhigana Raghunatam Vitangtam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Bhadan Sakhigana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Dev Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavayus Paschatya Deshatarini Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Karinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. We have some live participation. Grüezi, hallo. Hey,
Ich habe sie gar nicht gesehen, Entschuldigung.
Nein, nein.
Ich habe immer da reingeschaut.
Grüezi. So, maybe I can turn the direction of this so I can see instead of being turned away from those who are present. Let's see how we can do this. A little bit of, no, let's keep that there. And this, oops. Doing some reorganization of wires here. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Hey, Marani is waving. Okay, so I was going to read one more prayer. Shri Chaitanya Prabhum Vande Yat Pada Ashraya Viryataha Sangrihnatyakarava Vratat Agnya Siddhanta San Manin. I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by the potency of the shelter of his lotus feet, the Viryata, or Virya, by the Virya, so it becomes Viryata, Yat Pada Ashraya, by the Ashraya of his padas, his feet. Even a fool, Agnya, can collect Sangrinati, the valuable jewels, Akaravratat, no, sorry, Siddhantas, the Sanmanin, the valuable jewels of conclusive truth, Siddhanta, Sanmanin, from the minds, Akara, Vratat, the minds of the revealed scriptures. Vrata, I looked up Vrata. It's different from Vrata. Vrata, I still have it here. Yes. A multitude, a assemblage, troops, swarm, group, host. So in other words, many. So from the many mines or treasure places. Okay, so by the power Viryata of the shelter of the feet of Sri Chaitanya Prabhu, it is possible for even a fool, Agnya, to collect Sangrinati, the sat monies, the truth jewels, which are siddhanta, which are conclusive, from the abundant minds, something like that. Right. Okay. Now to Narottama Das Thakur's song, starting with last week's song, which was song number 4, Kadamba Tarur Dala, Namiyache Bhume Bhalam, Utyache Phula Sari Sari. In Vrindavan, the Kadamba trees offer obeisances So it's describing these kadamba trees. Apparently there are two different types of kadamba trees, if I remember. Dinabandhu Prabhu at Biharvan. I think he was saying there's two kinds of kadamba trees, because I've seen kadamba trees in Mayapur, and they're not the sort that would be touching the ground with their branches, because they're more like reaching out. Bumblebees enjoy pastimes in Vrindavan, which is filled with a variety of sweet fragrances. Okay. And then Radha and Krishna stay in the place. Okay, so we remember this was describing, I think also the song before. First, the bigger area, then the more specific area, and coming more and more focused on the divine couple. But here, Radha and Krishna stay in the place where they enjoy pastimes. How beautiful they are. Their bodies are decorated with jewel ornaments, and they are wealthy with many gems, many gem mines of intelligence and wit. Vaidagdi Kani Jani. Abharana, ornaments. Okay. So Krishna and Radha are very clever and witty. That's why they can always joke with each other. Dear Giridhari holds Srimati Radharani's right hand. Radhar Dakshina Karadari Priya Giridhara. And together they gracefully stroll about. Cholijai. The gopis shower flowers before and behind them. Age pache, Sakhigana Kori pul varishana. Age means in front, pache means behind. And one gopi fans them with a chamara whisk. Konosaki chamara dulai. It's this retroflex da, where the tongue goes on the touches the roof of the mouth. Duh. And it's also aspirated, so it's DH in transliteration. Duh. So dhulai. Chamara dhulai. So that's what the pujaris are doing when you chamara dhulai. Then number 4, that place is filled with the aromatic pollen of the lotus. And it is made pleasantly cool by the shining of the moon. Chandre Kore Sushitala. So it must be evening time when this is happening, or night. On a raised platform there, Radha and Krishna dance, holding hands, the hairs of their bodies standing up in ecstasy. So there's dancing going on. And I was thinking, this last line, Rai Kanu Koro Jodi, nritya kore piri piri. Parashe pulake tanub bari. So I was just imagining in Bengal how this would be sung. They would probably be repeating again and again and again. Rai kanu kora jadi nritya kore piri piri. Rai kanu kora jadi nritya kore piri piri. Rai kanu kora jadi nritya kore piri piri. Parashe pulake tanubare. Yeah. Anyway. Ihr versteht nichts.
Ja, wir haben aber was.
Huh?
Wir haben nicht schön sprechen. Bisschen.
Bisschen.
Oh.
Sonst vielleicht kann man Zucker etwas übersetzen.
Versuchen. Nicht so gut.
Otherwise, is there an online German translation? Then you could plug into that. I don't know.
No, today there's no German translation.
Today. Okay. All right. Today's song is Mathura Virohcita Darsana Lalasa, song number 5 from Prarthana of Narottama Thakura. Nee?
Er erklärt sich bereit.
Ja.
Aber ich sage, er braucht ja nicht alles.
Yeah.
Das ist so anstrengend.
Okay. So now we're going to go through today's song, which has only 2 verses. Mrgamada Candana Kori Sakhigana varis phula gandha rāje. Śrama-jala bindu śobhā mukha indu adhare muralī nāhi rāje. The gopis decorate the divine couple with musk and sandalwood paste and shower them with aromatic flowers. Varis is showering from Varsha, which is from Vrisha. Drops of perspiration make Lord Krishna's moon-like face splendid. Śobhā mukha indu. Indu is means moon. Mukha is face. Śobhā makes shine. Śrama-jala. Oh, that's interesting. So śrama means effort, endeavor, doing something that causes one to perspire. And jala means water, jal. So śrama-jala is, you could say, effort water. In other words, perspiration. Bindu, drop. So there's so many drops of perspiration. Adhare muralī nāhi rāje. Okay, it's translated, the flute is gracefully placed against Lord Krishna's lips. And the question came whether this means he's not placing it to his lips because it looks like nāhi. But I think that's short A and long I, at least in Hindi. That would be nāhi. And this is nāhi. But unless we have a Bengali speaker with us, I don't know if we can clarify that. Okay, second verse. Hasya vilasa rasha, sharasha madhura bhasha, Narottama manurato boru. Duhuka vichitra besha, Kushuma Rachita Lochana Mohana Lila Koru. With the nectar of their joking and laughter and the sweetness of their charming talks, the divine couple fulfills all the desires of Narottama. So Manoratta, this word comes so many times, can be used in either a negative way or a positive way. Rata means a chariot, Mano means the mind, so the chariot of the mind. And sometimes this is used in a negative way to say our minds are going here, there, and everywhere, and they're full of just so many useless ideas and desires. But here, certainly the context would mean that it's being used positively. And so how it's positive is it's fulfilling all the desires of Narottama. What is fulfilling his desires? The joking and laughter and sweetness of the charming talks of the divine couple. Yeah, so just imagine being privy, you know the word privy, being having access to the talks of Radha and Krishna, joking. They might not want us to hear. They're too intimate. But that's an interesting subject because Madhurya is the rasa of intimate love, of lover and beloved, of conjugal love. And conjugal love is, you know, it's kind of necessarily insular. It's necessarily closed off from others. You don't have sort of public rasa between lovers in conjugal love, right? It's a very private thing, especially when it's parikiya. Svakiya, of course, does have a very public side. Husband and wife, it's very much about social relations with a wider public, with family, with friends, and so on. But parakya is, of course, not only private, but secret. It's hidden. It's not legal. And yet, when we hear about Radha and Krishna's conjugal pastimes, it seems like there's some involvement of some of their intimate friends, the manjaris, especially the sakhis and the manjaris. And so here it's suggesting Narottama is wanting to take part in that. But in general, we think, isn't it, of conjugal relation as being it's two and only two. It's not three and so on. And that's in contrast to Sakhirasa. Sakhirasa, it's been pointed out, is the pleasure of friendship increases in Sakhirasa when another friend comes and another friend and another friend. And when there are many friends together, that makes the experience all the more fun, enjoyable, relishable. Okay, with the nectar, the joking laugh. So hasya vilasa rasa, sarasa madhura bhasa. So bhasa means language, and madhura means sweet. Rasa with relish, relishable. And hasya means laughter, vilasa, play, you could say, joking, I guess. Yeah. Okay, then, dressed in wonderful, colorful garments, duhuka vichitra vesha, kusuma, and their hair decorated with flowers, kusuma rachita kesha, the divine couple enjoys pastimes, enchanting the eyes of everyone. Lochana, mohana, lila, oru. Okay. Yeah, duhuka. Vichitra vesha is artful or charming dress. Duhuka, I guess, means dressed. And then kusuma is flowers, rachita is made up, you could say. Kesha is hair. Lochana, the eyes. Mohana, bewilderment. And lila is lila. Koru, which may be in the sort of invitational imperative form. Let it happen. Let it be so. Right. Do you have the text there? We don't have any other instruments. You could. You could look downstairs.
Guru Maharaj, did you turn on musician sound?
I certainly will. Okay. Okay. Mrgamada Candana Kori Sakhigana Mrgamada Candana Kori Sakhigana Mrgamada Candana Kori Sakhigana Mrgamada Candana Kori sakhīgan varis phula gandha rāje varis phula gandha rāje varis phula gandha śrama-jala, bindu bindu, śobhā Kori, mukha, indu. Śrama-jala, śrama-jala, bindu bindu, śobhā Kori, mukha, indu. adhare, muralī, nāhi, rāje. Adhare, muralī, nāhi, rāje. Asya Lalasa rasa sharasa Mathura basa. Asya Lalasa rasa sharasa Mathura basa. Narottama manurata Kori. Narottama manurata Kori. Dukkha vichitra vesha kusuma Virohcita kesha. Vichitra Desha Kusuma Virohcita Kesha. Lochana Mohana Lila Koru. Lochana Mohana Lila. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare We had a nice backup band accompaniment here. Okay. Now, to continue with Narottama Das Thakur. A bit more about his biography. A lot of farming activity going on in the fields here nearby with big machines. So you may remember last week Narottama Thakur was not yet Narottama Thakur, but he arrived finally after so many weeks and months in Mathura. And in Mathura, one Brahmin met him and they spoke, and it came to Narottama's knowledge from the Brahmin that Swami and Srila Sanatana Goswami had already departed. Wondering if we should close that window. They seem to persist. And yeah, Narottama was brokenhearted. In his very young youth, he had been hearing about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and was wanting to meet him, but then he was told, no, he has departed. So that broke his heart. Now he's come all the way to Vrindavan to meet the Goswamis who he had been hearing about. And again, he's heartbroken. But the Brahmin wants to reassure him in some way, wants to encourage him. And he says, there are other nice and elevated devotees in Vrindavan still. And then Narottama remembers, was it in the dream that he was told by Rupa Goswami that he would take shelter of? Who would he take shelter of?
Lokanath Das Goswami.
Huh?
Lokanath Das Goswami.
Yes. And so he takes heart and he begins to go to Vrindavan. So that's what we're coming up to now. It says he went swiftly. He's eager to reach Vrindavan. But the closer he gets, the more uneasy he becomes. And why is he uneasy? He's uneasy because, yeah, Saturday, everybody is out doing their farming and gardening with their machines. The next door neighbor here cutting his grass. Alas. How could Lord Chaitanya have sent such a low and unqualified person as me to this sacred land? I know so little about spiritual life. Will a great soul like Sri Lokanath Goswami accept me as his servant? Will Sri Gopal Bhatta allow me to touch his lotus feet? Will Sri Jiva Goswami love a fallen soul like me? So he starts to have doubts. He's come all this way, but now come hesitations and doubts. This is, I think, something nice for us to remember when we are going or thinking of going or arriving in Vrindavan. What was the mood of Narottama when he was approaching Vrindavan? Approaching Vrindavan, his heart is racing, he's excited. And he feels this is no ordinary place. Everything seems to be shimmering, shining, like glittering. Everything is like super bright. He picks up some dust and he feels it is like it is Chintamani. And he feels this place is non-different from Goloka Vrindavan, Krishna's spiritual abode. But he thinks, yes, but can I see this? Can I really comprehend? He sees some cows grazing, and just immediately thinks of Krishna, the cowherd. This is where Krishna was herding his cows. This is where he danced with the gopis. This is where he played with the other cowherd boys. This is where Krishna killed demons. This is where Krishna protected the Vrajavasis. And then he prays to Krishna, "O Lord, help me cleanse my mind of all material anxieties and desires, so I will be able to understand your Vrindavan. Then my spiritual life will be successful." Then he's seeing all sorts of different trees, banyan trees, neem trees, mango trees, and also tulsi plants, kadamba. He sees monkeys. He sees bright parrots charging through the trees, swooping in and out. And he thinks, what does he think? Every living being in Vrindavan is special. When Krishna was present here, all the residents of Vrindavan, even the birds, trees, and cows, were absorbed in trying to please him. That was their spirit. They loved Krishna so much that they had no care for their own happiness. They simply wanted to make Krishna happy. How wonderful it would be to be so unselfish and loving. He hears peacocks wailing mournfully. He remembers Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He remembers hearing how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Vrindavan and how when he came, he had become mad in ecstasy, in love of Krishna, just by hearing a cowherd boy playing a flute or a peacock calling. He remembers hearing that Mahaprabhu had asked the birds and the plants if they had seen Krishna. And Narottama thinks, now here I am in that same transcendental land of Vrindavan, hearing the same sounds and seeing the same sights as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And tears from Narottama's eyes, such that he can hardly see where he's going. He meets some other sadhus who are they kind of join with him on the road. And then he asks them after some time, so have I reached Vrindavan yet? And the sadhus, they nod and they chant. What do they chant? Radhe, Radhe. So now he kneels down, touches his forehead to the ground, smears the dust on his head, and he says, not only, or he thinks, not only did Krishna walk on this ground, but also Mahaprabhu did. He hears kartals in the distance, and this reminds him he has a mission. Kartals means kirtan. Kirtan means devotees. Maybe Lokanath Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, or Jiva Goswami are there. And then he starts to see the vague outline of one temple. Then there's a group of barefoot village women balancing clay pots with water on their heads. And they're coming, I guess, the other way, and they're laughing and talking. And he asked them, excuse me, what temple is that? And the ladies look at him curiously through their veils. And they answer, one answers, that's Govindaji Mandir. Narottama thanks her and breaks into a run. He starts running toward the temple. And then he enters the courtyard and faints in ecstasy. When he opens his eyes, there's a crowd of curious devotees surrounding him because it seems he was already expected. And one announces to the others, this is indeed Narottama. And then he spoke to Narottama. Narottama, he said, welcome to Vrindavan. I am Jiva Goswami. Imagine that. And on that note, and on that somewhat of a cliffhanger, we can stop there on that note. Srila Narottama Das Thakura ki jai, Srila Jiva Goswami ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Bol. Okay. Okay. So, again, welcome everyone. And nice to see you all. We see Arunadai Shri. I hope you're well. And Anandamayi and Audarya Chandrika and Dira Lalita and Katyayani and Madhupuri and Kavichandra, who's translating, and Manibanda, who perhaps is also translating, and Bernd and Ramona and Esther and Daityesha and Martina and Tia and Sitarani and Vishnaragini and Prema Sarovara and I guess Gaur Nataraj is also there, and Mitra Balaram and Kirtida Nandini and Rasodari Hari and Rindapati and Mangala Chandrika and Charlotte and Gaura Mitra and Hriday Ram, yes, and there's Vrajali Lavati and Julian. Greetings, Julian. And Leela. That's yes.
Lila Mayurada.
Leela Mai, that's Leela Mai Radha. And Haridev and Divya Darshini, and 2 times Divya Darshini. No, that changed. And Dinanath, who's showing one of his horses in the picture, and Kali Parayana Sevini, and Mathura Mohan, and Madhyana-līlā, and Padma Manjari, and Valariya, and Surya Kunda, and Susanna, and Ivan. Who's Ivan? And Mahimamai, and Malatimala, and Rityakishori, and Shravana Ramaniya, Dharma Gopta, Bhuvana Chandrika, Kike, Haribo Kike, and Bhakti Sanga, otherwise known as Avaduta Rai, and Yaritza, and Tade, and oh, there's more. There's more. Tade, and there's 16462, and Prananath Hari. Oh, Ivan is your dad. I met your dad a few days ago. Yes, in Zagreb. Thank you. And Pradyumna Das. Pradyumna Das. And Nandimukhi. And Taranisaki. And Ramavatar. And I guess that's more or less everyone. Dominic Cresse. Okay. Greetings to you all. It's a nice May day, spring day. And like every day, it's a celebration in the spiritual world. In Simhachalam was wonderful darshan of Sri Sri Prahlad Lakshmi Nrsimhadev. There was jolly good kirtan. Devotees, many devotees are here now for meetings, National Council. And I was here for regional governing body meeting. I survived 2 days of meeting. And my godbrother, Akandadi Prabhu, gave lecture this morning. Very nice. So yeah, all good things going on here. Anyone here have anything you would like to share? Please don't be shy. Now, I know it's difficult for many, if not most of you. I think most of you. English language is second language, if not third language. So you may be feeling self-conscious about speaking amongst all of us. But I would just say, please just feel yourself at home among friends and family. And if you need help with language, we can help. Yeah, that's that's a general thing I wanted to say. Okay, let's see. What should I embarrass somebody by asking you to say something?
I can have some news.
Oh, we have Rajamohini here live. She has some news.
Should I come here?
Yes, you'll have to join the
Hare Krishna.
microphone.
Dear God siblings, I don't have a show today, but I can do the telling part. The first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam in Turkish is almost ready to print, and we will give it to print next week. So it will be the first time that the first canto is available incomplete. And so please give your blessings that we can continue to translate them, and devotees can have, and everyone, Turkish people, can have the other cantos as well. Hare Krishna. Guru Maharaj is coming. How many books we have in Turkish language? We have many small books, like we have Shri Upanishad, we have Upadeshamrita, we have Beyond Birth and Death, we have Chant and Be Happy, we have The Science of Reincarnation, and we have Bhagavad Gita. Nectar of Devotion will just be published, I think, next month. We have Science of Self-Realization. And what we don't have is Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita.
So, first canto Bhagavatam.
Yes.
Wow, in Turkish. Who could imagine? Very good. Do you know how many they printed?
How many they will print? I'm not sure. But I'm guessing it will be probably 2,000 or something like this in the first.
Okay.
Small amount.
Yeah, that's good. Joy. Certainly pleasing to Srila Prabhupada and all the devotees. Nice, nice. Okay, let's see, who else? Some congratulations are coming in. Okay, what do I have to report is perhaps just that, as I mentioned, we had the RGB meeting. What is RGB? It's Regional Governing Board. So it's actually Euro RGB. Regional Governing, yeah, like it's like the GBC, the Governing Body Commission, but it's for Europe, but it's under the GBC. So it's a managerial organizational aspect of the institution. And I was expected to attend in my role as so-called minister for Europe of the Ministry of Cow Protection and Agriculture. And so I dutifully attended. It's actually very nice. I mean, I have to say, we do have, we have a tendency to sort of have negative feelings, or at least ambivalent feelings, about anything to do with organization, institution, management, these sorts of things. But I must say that whenever I do attend such meetings, I kind of feel a renewed sense of inspiration that all these devotees who are in the meeting, they're really very nice and very sincere and very serious and very intelligent devotees. And the discussions were wide-ranging. There was some quite technical things dealing with the organization and membership itself. There were some presentations about what's happening in different sort of subcommittees. There was discussion about how things go. Very nice presentation by Akhundati Prabhu, quite fascinating. They did a very systematic study of the entire strategy of preaching going on in the United Kingdom. And he had slides and he showed it. It's very systematic and very comprehensive analysis of to what extent different efforts are actually effective and are feeding into a sort of ultimate purpose of drawing people into full commitment to become devotees of Krishna and engage also in Lord Chaitanya's mission. So that was inspiring. One point came up which I have to say I have mixed feelings about mentioning, but I guess it's my duty, because all of the devotees who take responsibility of having disciples in Europe have been requested to request their disciples and their followers to beware, to how to say, well, maybe to avoid and to respect from a distance. One particular devotee who is a godbrother of mine, his name is Dhaneshwar Swami. Swami, since recently, he took sannyas vows not within ISKCON, but from someone outside of ISKCON, having been told by the sannyas minister, Prahladananda Swami, that I'm very sorry, but we cannot accept you as a sannyasi unless and until you give up a particular subject which you have been preaching. And what was he preaching, or what is he still preaching? He is preaching something that I thought everyone sort of gave up years ago, but no, he's apparently still doing it. What is that? He's preaching that certain devotees, when Prabhupada was approaching the end of his life, that certain devotees intentionally poisoned him with some kind of chemical poison. This is a story that's been circulating around, especially on the internet, for years. And well, we just can't take this seriously. I cannot take it seriously because I know personally the devotees who they are accusing of this, and I know that this would be absolutely unthinkable for them because of their utter and complete dedication. This is just part of what he's preaching. He's saying several things which I would just say are not helpful for, they're not favorable for our devotional service. Essentially saying lots and lots of negative things about this International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Now, I say this with a bit of, as I said, mixed feeling, because ultimately, who knows how this devotee is seen in the eyes of Krishna. Krishna is also in his heart, and I'm sure he's very sincere in his mind. Everything he's doing is as it should be and needs to be, and so somehow I feel like that also has to be taken into account and acknowledged. So I don't want to say, oh, he is a, no, he's a devotee, but some devotees we find are not like-minded. And it's recommended that we associate with like-minded devotees for progressing in spiritual life. I mention this because he's in Europe. I think he may be in Croatia now. And he's kind of, he's on a mission, he's on a campaign. He wants to start something. Apparently he's calling it a non-institutional institution, a sort of alternative ISKCON, something like that. So, of course, and he's written books where he's making all of his arguments. And I don't, as I think some of you at least know, I don't forbid my disciples to read anything, especially because anything forbidden becomes especially interesting. I would say that apparently his latest book, which Prahladananda Maharaj said is a very thick book, Prahladananda Maharaj read cover to cover. He said, I read the book, and I'm not convinced of anything that he says. He also said he spoke personally with Dhaneshwar. He said they had a friendly conversation. They didn't agree on so many things. But Prahladananda Maharaj said he suggested to Dhaneshwar Swami that maybe you should just concentrate on preaching that, Krishna consciousness. Like, let's all chant Hare Krishna, and let maybe the householders have a morning program and read books of Srila Prabhupada, instead of all the negative things that he's apparently propagating. Okay, so I've done my duty in that regard. That's, just that sort of thing happens from time to time. Dear Lalita, your hand is up. Oh, we don't hear you.
No te escuchamos.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. We can hear you now, Tita Lalita.
You can hear me?
Yes, in English channel. If everyone goes to the English channel.
We have to go to another channel.
If everyone goes to the English channel, then we can hear Tita Lalita.
Okay, all
English
right.
channel.
I'm on the English.
Okay.
That's all right. Go ahead.
Oh, well, a couple of weeks ago, I have sent something. I've made the photos of my garden. I don't know if that's too boring, maybe, after this topic. So I just wanted to show what I'm growing and how spring started in Krishna's garden here in England. Then my husband and I are looking after. And I think Daya Chandrika has this little video. So do I need to share the screen, or?
If you want, I can share.
Yes.
Okay, there are two videos, two short videos.
Too short, yes.
Yes. Okay.
They're just photographs, actually, put like in a. So this is these are little plants that I grew in a house, and they're now out in the garden. We grew about. We have sown about 200 to 250 seeds, and these all are here vegetables, and these are sunflowers, vegetables and flowers. They're already, because that was 2 weeks ago, they're already bigger plants, and they are now in the allotment trying to escape the slugs. If they don't get eaten, we will have some crops to offer to Krishna. winter and spring was very wet. These are greenhouses which are full now of plants. That's Lakshman making vegetable beds. And I just wanted to say that we prepared the ground with cow manure from the Bhaktivedanta manor. This is a second one. This is our little garden here where we live, and full of flowers. These are little forget-me-nots. This is notice some tulips which are already over now, but it was a nice spring. These are little bruneras, beautiful plants. I just want to say that thank you to Guru Maharaj for encouraging me to do this, because by having flowers and connecting it with deity worship, it's really nice, because my meditation is to grow flowers which are soft and they're fragrant as well. This is a very, very nice bush. And this one also, very beautiful flowers. That's forget-me-not flower. That's a primula. And all these tulips are actually fragrant flowers. There are some types which are not, but this particular one that I picked, they are. This is called Sila and hyacinths, and yeah. But now, maybe in 1 month time, I will also make a video of the roses that I'm planning to actually cultivate the roses, because they are most fragrant and beautiful. That's my daughter helping me with, and devotees, younger devotees are helping us a little bit in our allotment, which is very nice, because we're not getting any younger. So that was my little show and tell.
Thank you. Very good.
Pleasure, Guru Maharaj.
Gardening for Krishna ki jai. Prema Sarovara.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hari
Please
Hari.
accept my humble obeisances until
Jai.
lotus feet. Guru Maharaj, have you noticed the Gopi Krishna message? She said our Bhagavatam overview lecture.
Cancelled.
Yes, because
Yes.
of the
Yeah, I got
serious situation.
I got that message. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. And by the way, I have finished the polish cock here, but I think maybe we better do some address maybe Hindu when you use the word Hindu, you mean Hindu religion?
Oh, okay. You're asking about that, especially for the title. Yeah, you can change the title to something that would sound good. You could say, I don't know, maybe just Indian.
Okay.
Cow care in Indian animal ethics. That's okay.
Okay.
But that means you may have to do some adjustment also especially in the book's introduction, because there I don't know, in the first few paragraphs I'm talking about Hinduism. Maybe you can look at that again and see if there's something that can be adjusted. Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
For everyone else, just we're discussing about the Mandarin translation of the book Cow Care in Hindu Animal Ethics, which Prema Sarovara has been working on, and Gaura Nataraj also for some time now, and they're coming to completion. Yeah, Jai.
Okay, Kumar. Let me think more, and
Oh,
I will.
there's Gaur Nataraj sneaking up behind you.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Okay. Anything else about editing we should discuss?
Okay, Kumar. I will think more. I will write an email to you. Okay,
You can
Kumar?
write. Yes. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kumar.
Thank you, Jai.
Thank you, Kumar.
All right. So what should we do now? Bit of reading, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Anyone else? Any news? Ah, Ankasti is with us. Greetings, Ankasti. Hare Krishna. From Mendoza. And Anandita Rama and Amara Chandra are, looks like they're in their car traveling. Yeah, this is an interesting technology. We can be like this. Anyway, good. Okay, Chaitanya Charitamrita, here we come. Let me first find where we are. Let's go to, oh, that's not what I want. Let's go to the library. I kind of lost my place where we were before. We were. So we're still in the childhood of Nimai, and he is, and this is chapter 14. Oh, I think we're near the end, or maybe we got to the end. We did get to the end, didn't we? Now I remember. All right. So then chapter 15, the Lord's Paugaṇḍa-līlā. All right, here we go. 1 minute. There we go. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda. Okay, Paugaṇḍa. Paugaṇḍa means from age what to age what? I never remember these. Isn't it from age 6 till, I don't know, 11 or something? Okay, this summarizes, he is taking lessons in grammar from Gangadas Pandit. He becomes expert in this. His mother forbids him. He forbids his mother to take grains on Ekadashi. And then the story of Vishvarup. After accepting sannyas order, invites him, that is Nimai, to accept sannyas also, but refuses and is therefore sent back home. And then Jagannath Mishra passes away, and the Lord marries the daughter of Vallabha. And again, I think I may have mentioned, I don't believe this is the daughter of Vallabhacharya of the Vallabha Sampradaya. This is another Vallabha. But that's my understanding. Okay. All right. Kumana sumanastvam hi yati yasya padabjayoho sumanor panamatrina tang chaitanya prabhum bhaje. I offer my respectful obeisance unto the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya, because simply by offering a flower at his lotus feet, even the most ardent materialist becomes a devotee. So a kumana can become a sumana. A person with a bad mind can become a person with a good mind. You could say like that. I'm tempted to guess that this verse was Srila Prabhupada's inspiration to instruct my godbrother Dhananjaya Prabhu to mass produce very small murtis of Gaura-Nitai to be packaged and distributed by book distributors on the street. He had this radical idea. Let everyone have Gaura-Nitai deities at home. They don't have to understand anything about them. You just tell them, put them up on your bookshelf or your knick-knack shelf, and can put a little water cup there, it said, maybe incense. And he said, the book distributors can tell people, these little murtis, you have them, they will fulfill all your desires. But the idea is, the strategy was, then they would become curious. How is that? Who is this? Who are these figures? Why they will fulfill all this? Then they will come. They will be inquisitive, and then gradually you can engage them like that. So sumana arpana matrina, merely, matra means merely, simply by arpana, by offering. Let's see. Oh, okay. It looks like the word sumana has a double meaning. So there's a play on words here, which is what poetry is all about. Not all about, but one thing it's about. So sumana means good mind, but it can also be a flower. So sumana. So it could also mean simply by offering your good mind at the feet of the Lord. Yasya padapchayoho. Tang Chaitanyam Chaitanya Prabhu Bhaje. I worship that Chaitanya Prabhu. Okay. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Veda Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. All glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. All glories to Advaita Acharya, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. You could say this is a kind of condensed praise of the Panchatattva, because although the names Gadadhar and Shivas are not there, because it's Gaur Bhakta-vrinda, and because the full mantra would be Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda, So Srivas Adi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. If you just say Gaur Bhaktivinoda, that's including Srivas, really. And Gadadhar is not mentioned, but Gadadhar is special. Excuse me. Paugaṇḍa-līlā sutra Kori ganan. Paugaṇḍa Vayase Prabhu mukha adhyayan. Let me now enumerate the activities of the Lord between the ages of 5 and 10. Okay, 5 and 10. His chief occupation during this period was to engage himself in study, mukha adhyayana. Yeah, it's there's a saying, a Sanskrit saying, which I think Prabhupada refers to somewhere, that the sort of basic rule for parents is that the first 5 years the child should be indulged absolutely. Let them do what they want, give them complete freedom, and indulge means give them whatever they want. But then from age 5 to age through age 15, I think it is, then they should be guided. They should be controlled. They should be taught and disciplined and so on. And then from age 16 on, then the parents should make friends with their children. That's a kind of maybe a bit simplified Indian child's rearing psychology, but that's what the saying says. Mangala Chandrika's quotes from purport. After 5 years up to the end of 15th year, it's called Paugaṇḍa. Okay, there may be different measures, so to say, because what is it? Otherwise, I don't have it in my mind. That's all right. Paugaṇḍa-līlā Chaitanya. Oh, another Sanskrit verse. Paugaṇḍa-līlā Chaitanya Krishna Syati Suvistrita Vidyaramba Mukha Grahananta Manohara. Pastimes of the Lord during his Paugaṇḍa age were very extensive. Suvistrita. His education was his chief occupation, Vidyaramba Mukha. And after that, his very beautiful marriage took place. Pani Grahana. Pani Grahana literally means grasping the hand or holding the hand. And that's a term for marriage. When the groom takes the hand of the bride, that's it. They're married. Manohara, stealing the mind, taking away the mind, which Prabhupada translates as very beautiful. Of course, that's going to be the first marriage of Vishrambar. Dasa stane parena vyakaran shravana matra kante koila sutra brittigan. When the Lord was studying grammar at the place of Ganga Das Pandit, he would immediately learn grammatical rules and definitions by heart simply by hearing them once. Okay, the word for grammar is vyakarana. There's a book written by Srila Jiva Goswami called Harinamamrita Vyakarana. The grammar, which consists of the nectar, the nectarian names of Hari. And in the introduction to that book of grammar, Sanskrit grammar, he explains why he's writing this grammar. He's writing it because the standard Sanskrit grammar, famously composed by one Panini in ancient times, is quite dry and quite boring. So Jiva Goswami wants to inspire devotees to learn proper Sanskrit grammar, but to have fun doing it and be inspired with Krishna Bhakti at the same time. And so he composes the Harinamamrita Vyakarana, where everything is done, all of the rules are explained with names of Hari, names of the Lord. And so he kind of simultaneously explains Sanskrit grammar, and he also explains Krishna Bhakti at the same time. So it's very sweet. It's been translated. There's three versions of it, a shorter, a medium, and a long version. And I believe it's the medium version, which has been nicely translated, quite very expertly, I believe. Some devotee scholars. It's available in English in 2 very thick volumes. So here it says, Shavana matre kante koilo. In India, if you memorize something, if you memorize a shloka or whatever, it's called kantasta. Kanta means the throat, and sta means standing or situated. So to have something memorized means it's right there. It's ready to be quoted. And here, Shravana Matre, simply by hearing once, he would remember. Sutra Vrittigana, he would remember all the aphorisms and their definitions. Speaking of Shravana Matre, I had a consultation with one Ayurvedic doctor some weeks ago, 2 months ago, 6 weeks ago. And as recommended to me by Divyambara, he's in India. We spoke on Zoom. And the doctor, it was a consultation, but we were also chatting, and he was telling me, yes, he has also his guru. And he had mentioned to his guru that in Ayurvedic Shastra, there's description of a medicine. If you take this medicine, you will be able to, you'll get photographic memory. You can immediately remember everything. So his guru said, oh, very nice. So you please make such medicine for me. So it was an order from his guru, so he had to do it. And so he very carefully followed all the instructions how to prepare this medicine. Extremely complicated. And it took him, I believe he said, over 1 year to produce just one small container of it like this. And he said that it was not cheap for him to get all the ingredients and do all the procedures and to do everything properly. Cost him the equivalent of $7,000. But he did it, and he gave it to his guru. And I don't know if his guru became like this or what, Shravana Matre Kante Koila. But he did his service. Alpakale hoila anjitikate provin chirakaler paduja jine hoya navina. He soon became so expert in commenting on the Panjitika that he could win victory over all the other students, although he was a neophyte. Let's see. Okay, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says there was a commentary on grammar named Panjitika that was later explained very lucidly by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. So he was praveen, he was expert in explaining this. Chirakaler paduja jine vaya naveen. Although he was naveen, he was praveen. He was younger, he was junior to these students, paduya, but still he was praveen. He was expert, and so could prevail over them with this knowledge. I don't think it's mentioned here, but elsewhere it's mentioned that he would have arguments with Gadadhar Pandit, young, because Gadadhar, they were both about the same age. And as I remember, the story goes that Gadadhar had written some grammar book. And how does the story go? They were crossing the Ganga and they were arguing, and Mahaprabhu was always winning the argument. Gadadhar felt stressed and decided his book was no use, and he threw it in the Ganga. Is that the story? And then Mahaprabhu consoled him, said not to feel so bad. I don't know. Okay. Adhyayana-līlā Prabhu Dasa Vrindavana Chaitanya Mangale Koila Vistari Varnana. This is perhaps simple enough Bengali one could understand without looking at the translation. But maybe you've seen the translation already. Anyway, Adhyayana-līlā, the Leela of studying of Prabhu, Prabhur Adhyayana-līlā, Dasa Vrindavana Chaitanya Mangale Koila. Vrindavan Das Thakur Koila did in the Chaitanya Mangala, Chaitanya Mangale, a description, varnana, which is vistari, which is elaborate. Okay, in his book, Chaitanya Mangala, which later became Chaitanya Bhagavata, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has very elaborately described the Lord's pastimes of study. And we're given the chapter names, Adhikanda, chapters 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are all about this time. Wow, that's many chapters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chapters just on this subject. Ekkodina matar pode Koriya pranam Prabhu kohe mata more deha ekkodan. Okay, ekkodin, one day, matar pode, at the feet of mother, Koriya pranam, he offered, he made, having made obeisance, Koriya, doing obeisance, Prabhu kohe, Prabhu said, O mata, more deha ekodan, please give me one gift. Matabole tai dibo jatumi magibe Prabhu kohe ekadashite annanakaibe. His mother replied, my dear son, I will give you whatever you ask. Tai dibo jatumi magibe. So the word ja is whatever. Whatever you ask for, magibe. Whatever you will ask for, magibe. Ekadashite, on the day of Ekadashi, onna na kaibe. Please do not eat grains on Ekadashi. Okay, we have Prabhupada's purport. From the very beginning of his childhood life, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced the system of observing a fast on Ekadashi day. And Jiva Goswami quotes the Skanda Purana in his Bhakti Sandarbha. Someone who eats grains on Ekadashi becomes a murderer of his mother, father, brother, and spiritual master. And even if he is elevated to a Vaikuntha planet, he falls down. Ouch. On Ekadashi, everything is cooked for Vishnu, including regular grains and dal. But it is enjoined that a Vaishnava should not even take Vishnu prasadam on Ekadashi. It is said that a Vaishnava does not accept anything edible that is not offered to Lord Vishnu, but on Ekadashi, a Vaishnava should not touch even Mahaprasadam offered to Vishnu, although such prasadam may be kept for being eaten the next day. It is strictly forbidden for one to accept any kind of grain on Ekadashi, even if it is offered to Lord Vishnu. Okay, I think we all know that. So that's from Lord Chaitanya. Krishna Das Kaviraj reports. Does anyone have any questions about that? There's usually unlimited questions about Ekadashi. So maybe we should check. Somehow this subject always sparks many questions. No? Everyone's happy.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, if I can just ask maybe for anyone else, because I had that situation, namely I was in my Dharma Gupta's at job, a boss, he had a birthday and it was Ekadashi. And so for Ekadashi, and he likes one sweet very much, muffins. And that was the day that I asked you, is it okay to bake muffins, offer to Giriraj, and that Dharma Gupta would bring them on Ekadashi day, that they will take it? And you were saying, like, if you can maybe share with the rest of us that those kind of exceptions are like, okay, not that we will take it, but for the guests, that opportunity for them to take prasad.
Yeah, that's my understanding. Is it's a matter of direction. You're doing something, in this case, giving prasadam, which is elevating someone, and so it's a good thing. It would be a de-elevation. It would be a degradation for a devotee to take, knowing that it's Ekadashi and knowing that it's grains. But for someone who is not in that understanding and so on, I think it's an elevation. So that's my understanding. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Guru Maharaj. And again, when what was said now in Chaitanya Charitamrita, what is the consequences of eating grains and dal on Ekadashi? And for so many years, I was doing this before I was Krishna consciousness. So this is also part of my bad karma, if I could say like this, because I did it so many times, killing my father, mother, guru, before I became Krishna conscious.
I hope not, because for your sake and my own sake also, and all of us who were taking so many grains on that day. No, I think it's a matter of if one is not knowing the standard and so on, there's no blame. And this statement from the Skanda Purana, it's the flavor of this kind of statement is, you could say, I don't want to say hyperbolic, but it's strongly rhetorical in the sense it wants to really, really strongly make a point. Don't do it because it's not going to be good for you. Yeah, you could say it's a scare technique, but I wouldn't worry. We do our best now that we understand the standard is to avoid grains, so we do that.
Yeah. Thank
and
you.
One explanation of that from Amarendra Prabhu in America, he's given whole lectures on Ekadashi, but is that the influence of the moon during, he says 3 days, Dasami, Ekadashi, and Trayodashi is especially strong. And just as the moon affects or is the cause of the tides of water moving in and out of the sea, because our body is such a high percentage of water, 70, 80, whatever the percentage they say. So the moon also affects our body, especially on these days. And because I think he was saying, because grains are highly absorbent of water, therefore it simply increases the amount of water in the body, and therefore that becomes even more of a disturbance. And the idea is to minimize the disturbance. That's okay. That was the explanation he gave. Sounds good.
Indeed, yes. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. It was just one more question from Divya Darshini, if we can eat peanut on Ekadashi. This is our topic.
The big peanut question.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone is now holding tight and seeing what is the Swami answer. Well, I've had peanuts on Ekadashi many times, and I think in our Sanga, in our institution, in ISKCON, we haven't. There's any number of things that are supposedly forbidden according to one or another text, but Srila Prabhupada kind of minimized it or simplified everything and said no grains and no, what do you call them, beans and so on. And then comes the question, well, aren't peanuts like that. I don't know. To me, they're just like nuts. But let me also say, if somebody wants to avoid peanuts, you're welcome to avoid peanuts. If someone wants to offer and take peanuts, just so you can survive the day.
Okay.
I think, I don't think we'll go to hell. I hope not.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Yes, Srila Prabhupada had so many preparations with peanuts. Prabhupada had a feast every Ekadashi, actually. Devotees would cook extra preparations for Prabhupada on Ekadashi. But I must also add that when I was staying at the Talasari farm in North Maharashtra during the COVID lockdown time in 2020, I was there for 10 weeks. And several brahmacharis came there to take shelter from ISKCON Juhu temple. So it was a nice mood there, nice Sanga, a lot of brahmacharis. They would, every evening, every early evening, the brahmacharis would have a volleyball game. Volleyball is bona fide. Okay. What I was going to say, though, is that the head cook would always cook a Dvadashi morning feast of 16 preparations. So Dvadashi morning was always a small festival at the Talasari farm. Yeah, it was and it was good, very nice cooking, I must say, very expert. Okay. Rasodari Hari, something more.
I will be very quick, Guru Maharaj. It's regarding what we have the break of the fast, of the fasting day after on Dvadashi. I would like to hear your opinion, because because there is this timeline. I don't know, or exact time, like it should be the fast should be broken, from this time to that time. And I always advise devotees that this is not to be followed if everyone took a feast on Ekadashi or ate everything. Am I right on that?
I hope you're right, because that's my understanding also. Yeah. Okay. I'm just now looking in the Sanskrit dictionary, because that's called the Parana, as I remember, the Ekadashi Parana. And I'm just wondering what the word Parana literally means. Let's see. The delivering, bringing over, carrying through, accomplishing. Okay, fulfilling, conclusion. Eating and drinking after a fast. Breakfast. Satisfaction, pleasure, enjoyment. Going through, reading, perusal.
Because for me, it has a sense if one is fasting completely, from water or everything. So next day, just break at a certain time, but otherwise, why should one do it?
Yeah, that's my understanding. It would be interesting to know why. I mean, you're the astrologer. What is it about that critical time, which is sometimes just a few minutes, sometimes it's a couple of hours difference. It changes.
Oh, that is up to calculations which I'm not so familiar with Ekadashi and Dvadashi, very technical one.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I really don't know why. Sometimes it's very short period or something like that. I never actually read the rules. I thought maybe to ask Bhakta, what is his name? Bhakta from Puri, this devotee, your Srila Prabhupada's disciple, who is on this committee.
Bhaktarupa.
Bhaktarupa, yes. Maybe that we see these rules somewhere. We just get the time, but we don't. I didn't see any book on the rules actually.
Right. Okay.
It has something to do with Titi for sure, but I don't know what is it.
Another project. Okay.
Well, I will anyway do it.
Yeah, good. Okay. Let us know when you learn something about it.
Hare Krishna, could I have here is Savduta, could I have an impolite jump in, or polite, whatever, about this topic? Because when I was in Holland, in Belgium, I heard that complete fast is broken, okay, with grain, and half fasting, what is according to Prabhupada feasting, is broken by in another way. I mean, when somebody is eating vegetables, etc. on Ekadashi, then okay, with grain one can break the fast, but when there is complete fasting, then it is possible with water also. So there is like a gradation of how to break the fast, because it's in the Bhagavatam that to break the fast somehow or other is a must, according to the Ambarish story.
Yeah, the story of Ambarish.
So either with water when there is complete fast, or grain,
yeah,
or just to break with grains when there is feasting previous day.
Good.
That's my.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I don't know what to think now.
What to think? I think we can all think to chant and be happy. Let us chant and be happy, and let us stay this coming week. Let's stay sane and keep safe, and remember Krishna and Lord Chaitanya, and associate with devotees, and read Srila Prabhupada's books, and think about what we're doing and how to please Krishna. And in this way, Hare Krishna. So thank you all very much. Next week, what's happening next week? What's happening next week? I don't know. Yeah, I think next week we can also have Saturday Sanga. So we'll see you, those of you who are able next week, you're welcome. And thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Jai. Jai.
His Holiness Krishna Kshetra Swami
Hare
Maharaj ki
Krishna,
jai.
thank you so much.
All glories to
Hare
assembled
Krishna, Guru
devotees.
Hare
Maharaj.
Bol, bye bye.
Hare Krishna, family.
Krishna.
Please each other, protect you, Guru Maharaj.
All glories